So every single time our prayers are answered, what happens? Every single time that we are disappointed, what happens? It is a transaction. All right? So there are prayers where we say, Rabbirhamhuma kama rabbayani saghira. Oh Lord, be merciful to my parents the way they were merciful to me when I was a child. You have to understand that everyone's love language is different. 9 times out of 10, the intention is never wrong. Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Yasir Aqil, and today we're going to talk about whether or not you should continue to be good to someone or some people, even if they have ended up disappointing you or have lack of reciprocation from that end. Now you see, this is very subjective because it's very dependent on what relationship you're speaking about. For example, I've always said that every relationship must reciprocate. It has to be an exchange of values. What this means is, if you're talking about a business relationship, so if I'm going to provide value to you in a business transaction, then I'm going to expect something of similar value in return, whether that currency is. For example, if I provide you with a service, a medical service, then in return, I will expect some kind of remuneration. All right. If I provide you with some kind of emotional support as a friend, as a husband, as a father, as a neighbor, or whatever relationship one may have with you, then you will expect that this will be reciprocated. And that is the law that which we follow unknowingly. And that is just how we understand things. Similarly, God has a relationship with us and we have a relationship with God. So every single time our prayers are answered, what happens? We find the goodness and we find the warmth and we find it in our hearts to believe and to praise our Lord. However, every single time that we are disappointed, what happens? We may question our Lord and we may raise our hands in prayer and say, God, why are you doing this? Please help me. I need your assistance to help me out of this, and you're the only one who can help me. Now, this transactional relationship. So even when we are praying to God, we are expecting something in return. And what is that? That is heaven, or goodness, or sawab, or whatever it is. However, if we are doing something wrong or sinful, what are we expecting? The return will be accordingly. Now this is the basic surface of the entire discussion. What's actually happening a lot of times is that we continue to do good for people, and at times it really depends on who you are and what that relationship is like. So at times we will continue to do good for people who are unable to reciprocate. For example, imagine having a special child. We are doing it out of the goodness of our hearts, and we are doing it out of the love we have for our children. We are taking care of our special child or a child with special needs out of the love and affection that we have instinctively for our child without expecting anything in return. That is the relationship a lot of parents or most parents have with their children. Similarly, when they grow up and their parents are old, what happens? This relationship is sort of reversed, because it's not a tit for tat. It is out of that love. However, again, when you really put it into bare terms, it is a transaction. All right. So there are prayers where we say, Rabbirhamhuma kama rabbayani saghira. Oh Lord, be merciful to my parents the way they were merciful to me when I was a child. And this is the transaction of love, and that's the currency that we exchange. There are, however, times where we want to do things out of the way for people who do not know how to reciprocate. Now you have to understand, everyone's language of reciprocation may not be the same. So if someone says, all right, I want to express my love for you, maybe they'll say, I love you. Someone else may not say it. So maybe they'll do something for you. Maybe, for example, in my particular case, I like to feed people. And what I mean by that is that if I want to express my love for you, I'll give you 2 things. Number 1, I'll give you my time. And that's something that I really value a lot. All right. And number two, I'll bring you something to eat. And that's the second one on the ladder. So if I give you my time, but that is my expression or my language of love. You have to find out if it's your partner or your spouse or your child or your parent. You have to understand that everyone's love language is different. Someone may need to hear that you love them. Someone may need to feel by maybe giving them a hug. All right. Someone may just need to see something. For example, they may need to see that you've done the dishes for them, or maybe you're cooking for them, or maybe you've cleaned the house for them, or you've done something out of the ordinary for them to make them feel special. And that's all they need. They don't need to hear it. They don't need to feel it. They just need to see something. And at times, people are so logic driven that they just need to understand that all that you do is because you love them. So whether it's providing for them, providing care for them, being there for them emotionally, supporting them throughout whatever it is that they're going through, that's all they need. You just need to understand how your perception works versus how that particular person's perception works, and everything will just fall into place. I promise you, when you look at these things empathetically, and when you approach them with the intention of really finding out whether or not this person is of the same opinion in terms of love language, or is it that they need to be addressed in a different way. And when you start addressing this person in a different way, then they will start to reciprocate. 9 times out of 10, the intention is never wrong. It's just the expression of that intention that is just not following through or sitting well with the recipient. So make sure that your intention is communicated appropriately, and you keep doing good, because in your heart you know that is what's important, and they will appreciate it the way they understand it. So make sure that your efforts are there. However, make sure that it's in a language that the other person does understand, and that's how this entire formula will fall into place. You have a great day ahead. Apply these tools. Give me a like and a subscribe. That'd be mighty awesome. And I'll see you again next time. Till then, let's go further, faster together. Bye-bye now.